Today we are doing 3 high-protein vegan breakfasts that have at least 26 grams of plant protein per serving, but some have more. So we're starting off with this whipped ricotta pistachio toast that is so delicious. Now we've made whipped ricotta here before, so if you want to just use the whipped ricotta recipe on my blog, you definitely can. I made a smaller version for this recipe just so I didn't end up with a bunch of leftover whipped ricotta. So I just took 175 grams of firm tofu, 5 grams of olive oil, a little bit of nutritional yeast, which is optional, and a little salt. And I just popped that in the blender, and I did my best to blend it up until it got smooth and creamy because this was a smaller batch. The tofu was struggling to meet the blade at certain points, but that's okay. I got a pretty good texture on it that I was happy with. And if you just make the full recipe from the blog, it will be fine in the blender, but it comes out so delicious. I love the texture and consistency, and it's good if it has a little bumps in there, that not everything got broken down, but it's also good if it's nice and smooth as well. So then to make this fancy, I just added it into a piping bag, which you totally don't have to do. You could just smear it right on your bread. And speaking of bread, I'm using Dave's Killer Bread, and this has 4 grams of protein per slice of bread, and we are using 2 slices of bread. So we're getting 8 grams of protein just from the bread. And now here comes the fun part. We're just going to pipe our little vegan whipped ricotta on there. This is kind of like a vegan cream cheese. I don't know. It's just so pretty. It's so delicious. And it's a super easy breakfast that takes no time. If you want to toast your bread, you can. I don't like toasted bread. I'm weird. So then we are just going to add some chopped pistachios. And this recipe, like I said, makes 2 of these toasts. So this was just me making 1 of them. You're going to make 2 of them to get the full amount of protein. So the pistachios also add in a little bit of protein. They add in some healthy fats. They're really good, really delicious. I love pistachios. I'm going to go in with some red pepper flakes. And then the last thing I did was a drizzle of agave and some sea salt. And all these flavors just worked so well together. They were so delicious. There is just something really nice about the salty and the sweet. And this is great for breakfast. Pair it with some fruit and you have something really yummy. And of course, you can play around with the toppings on your vegan whipped ricotta toast. It's whatever you want to put on there. Next up, we're making what I'm really excited about, breakfast tiramisu. So we're starting off with some vegan yogurt. I'm using this one from Silk. Then we're going to go in with some vanilla protein powder. I'm using Dimetize. We're going to do vanilla extract and agave. And you can use any yogurt and protein powder you like. Just know it could slightly alter the macros on the recipe. So just mix this up until it is nice and smooth and creamy and looks like this. Set it to the side while we work on our ladyfinger substitute. I'm going to be using an English muffin. The English muffin works really well here because of the texture of it, because of the consistency of it. It works well to replace the ladyfingers. So I'm using one from Dave's Killer Bread, and I'm just cutting this into long pieces just like this. And I really liked this English muffin. It was really good. So then I'm cutting those. I'm going to let that set to the side for a second as well. We're just going to blend up some Catalina Crunch, the chocolate one, for a little bit of chocolatiness in there and just another little bit of sneaking in some extra protein. Then I'm going to pour my coffee over this. This is just about a cup of decaf coffee. You can use espresso, you can use coffee, use whatever you want. And if you're like me and you don't really like coffee, use the decaf. So I'm just going to let those sit in there for about 1 to 2 minutes, not very long because we don't want them to become too soft and mushy, but we want them to all soak up the coffee flavor. So I guess this is like a decaf tiramisu. It's not really going to give you that morning pickup if you use decaf like me. And now it's time to assemble it all. So I added a little bit of the English muffin, then a little bit of the vegan yogurt, Catalina Crunch, and then we just repeat the process until we get to the top. And look how pretty it is as the layers are forming. This is such a beautiful breakfast. This would also be fun for a dessert too. Use it however you want. And then once I get to the top, I add the rest of that Catalina Crunch, and I did some cocoa powder as well, just to keep it slightly traditional. I mean, obviously this isn't traditional at all, but tiramisu is always topped with some cocoa powder. So we put that on there, and then I'm going to put this in the fridge and just let it chill. This is great for meal prep because you can make it in advance. I let it chill for at least 2 hours before I want to eat it. When it comes out, it's going to look beautiful, delicious, so good. And who doesn't want dessert for breakfast? For our last recipe, we're going to be making Bagel Bites, and these are 37 grams of protein per serving, so that's for 4 of them. We're going to make 8. So we're taking Vital Wheat gluten, all-purpose flour, baking powder, salt, and we're going to mix this up. And yes, this is my protein bagel recipe, just in a different form, okay? We weren't going to make protein breakfast without sneaking the protein bagels in there somehow. Water and apple cider vinegar. The beauty of this recipe, there is no kneading. There is no rise time. There is nothing complicated. There's no boiling. Just mix it up until you form a dough. I wanted this to always be super simple. So now I'm just going to take my kitchen scale and divide out the dough equally into 8 little balls. If you want to make 6 of them, you can if you want them to be a little bit bigger. I did like the size of them though. I thought this was a good size. Now take your hands and press them flat out. And don't worry if there are a little bit of holes in there. The vegan cream cheese doesn't explode out. So I'm just going to add in a dollop of Kite Hill vegan cream cheese in there. I'm using the Kite Hill chive one. So good. And then I'm just going to fold it up and roll it with my hands nice and tight. And like I said, if there are some little pockets, you'll see them of the vegan cream cheese sticking out like there is right on top. It's okay. It doesn't explode out. I mean, you want it to be as covered as you can, but don't worry. So I just repeat the process until I made all 8. You can, of course, use any vegan cream cheese that you like in here, but the Kite Hill one is really good. I really like it. So once I've made all of those, I'm going to roll them in some everything bagel seasoning, or you can do sesame seeds, or you could do just a minced onion or minced garlic. You could just make them plain. It's whatever you want. And then these are going onto a baking sheet. I'm using a silicone mat. The oven, 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. And when they are done, they're going to be the cutest little bagel bites you've ever seen. I mean, how adorable are those?